Holy cannolis.
In the history of the Shreveport, did that seem like a very low number to you?
What number?
The number of men who have coached the Shreveport and/or Bossier Shreveport Mudbugs in 21, almost 22 years. Only 4. Jean Laferret.
I remember Jean.
Scott Muscat.
Of course.
Carlos Zernis, now with the latest incarnation with the North American Hockey League. And the gentleman who sits...
Soup. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
In the formerly golden chair right now, Jason Soupy Campbell, the new coach of the Shreveport Mudbugs, North American Hockey League champions. I'm sure this is the first. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Got to be awesome. I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard this. Watch this. You know, all those other guys have won championships, man. Let's start there. You, as a player, you came to Shreveport, Louisiana, Bossier, the Arklatex, when you were 24 years old to play professional hockey.
Yes.
You are a native of?
Orangeville, Ontario, Canada.
Where the heck is that?
Near Toronto. It's near Toronto.
So you're sort of a big city kid.
Kind of.
How much was the culture shock originally coming to Shreveport, Louisiana?
It was a big shock initially, but you get thrown right into the mix right away.
You've been here 20 plus.
What kept you here all those years?
I have a beautiful wife from the Jonesboro Hodge area and 3 children. And my hockey career, I met my wife like basically the first week I was here.
Oh goodness.
I know. Yeah, started dating that year and
that's
then
so awesome.
Yeah. So that's a major reason why I'm here, but also, I didn't get cut from the hockey team the next year either. So that kept me here as well. It was kind of a win-win there for me.
Defending North American Hockey League champions. And the way for folks, as I explain, the Mudbugs in their current incarnation, to use that word again, the North American Hockey League, it's basically college-age kids.
Yes.
And it's like 18 to 22, give or take.
Yep.
And as the defending champion, we lost a lot of guys.
We sure did.
So, time to reload, as the phrase goes. What are we doing? What's the plan?
Well, we had about 200 kids in Michigan a couple weeks ago at our main camp, and we picked about 35 from there, and we have.
Pardon me, 200. Let's approach that from this angle.
That's who we picked. It was invite only.
What does that say about the reputation of Shreveport as a hockey town that you can get that kind of turnout for a tryout?
Well, winning a championship helps, but even before then, what happened with the first year of the team, like players want to be a part of something
Franchise
good.
of the year.
Yeah, players want to be a part of something good. They know that guys have been developing here, and they've just heard about the Mudbugs and the Mudbug way, and they want to be a part of that. And it's tough out there. Recruiting is super tough with all the teams in the league. And
Don't ask a question. Tell her what the Mudbug way is.
It's all about culture, really. That's really what it is. We try to build a culture of players that are great young men. Their character is next to none, that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get out. They'll be in the community. They'll do what it takes on the ice. It's less about me and more about we.
Let me ask you this, Soupy. Would you prefer soup or soupy?
Soupy, it doesn't matter. I get Snoopy, Droopy, working with the youth hockey kids.
Poopy,
you get all kinds of stuff.
People don't believe that. Exhibition game 1, August 31st, is that right?
Yeah, August 31st, and then the next day as well against the Springfield team.
And I'm looking at the season opener is in September.
September what, 13th?
September 13th is the season opener, and then on the Saturday we'll do
Will you do camp
banner
here?
raising.
How many new players do you anticipate will be on the Mudbugs roster this year? How many might be coming back? And when you big question. And when you open camp, how many players will you have there?
We'll likely have right around 35, 40 guys here for training camp. We have a handful of returning players coming, so not many guys will be at training camp. We do have another handful of guys starting in the USHL. So we may get those guys back. We may not. We don't know. It's kind of when they make
Which
their
is the next league up. There's a whole bunch of guys who were invited to try to who were drafted after our championship season to move up a notch.
That's right. The United States Hockey League, which is the tier 1 junior league in
Right,
America.
right.
We're tier 2.
Let me ask you this, Coach. How's that sound?
Great.
It does sound kind of awesome, doesn't it?
You guys do something. I don't know how you get away with this, but I think it's cool. You kind of front load your schedule with road games, and then it looks like you back load from February, March. You have I thought it was 15 of 19 games here at home.
Yeah, so last year,
because you're competing in the fall, obviously, with football and all.
Yeah, that's a big one. But really, we don't have a choice anyways because of the state fair. State fair moves in, and we don't have ice. We don't have the building for a good month. So we can't play at home then anyways.
Right.
Which kind of works out because of football season and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. So last year's was even backloaded more than this year. It's
Oh my
sprinkled.
God, we had 2 games a weekend for like 8 straight weekends.
Yeah.
Carlos Zernis, whom you are replacing, to say the least, an emotional, wear his heart on his sleeve. You know exactly what he's thinking, feeling. I mean, it got to be the Zerny move about halfway through the season where he would stand up on the boards. He would go from the floor to the bench to the boards to yell at the officials.
Yes.
You are replacing a very
Demonstrative?
fellow. What is the Jason Soupy Campbell coaching style, both that the public will see and that the players will see in the locker room?
Well, I'm not quite as animated and vocal as Coach Zernis was, but at the same time, I remember in Amarillo last year when Coach was out of town, I had to take over. Man, I got fired up, at the referees at that point as well. But it takes a lot to get me going. But I feel like I'm calm, cool, and collective for the most part. And, I don't let my highs get too high, don't let my lows get too low, because I just feel like that even keel is the best way to go. And
When you first came here, what year was it? You were 24 years old. What year was that?
99.
99. You have been part of, including last year as an assistant coach, you have been part of how many championship rings, Mudbugs championship rings do you have?
So 2 as a player, then another one in 2011 when I was in the office, and then last year. So that's 4, I guess.
Wow.
Dream
job for you? Is this?
This is, yes.
You think so?
I played junior hockey way back when, and I've always loved the junior game. I say, how fortunate am I? I love the game of hockey. I love the junior game of hockey. Now I'm done playing, so I get to coach, and I'm doing it to where I don't have to move the family or anything like that. It's just a great opportunity to do it in a place I love.
Tell me about your about molding young men. Because if I'm sending my 17 or 18, 19-year-old kid to you to coach, and I live in Canada, you got to be a guy that's going to take care of my boy. He's still my boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, for me, it's case-by-case basis. Everybody's different. Their personalities are different. You might have to pat some guys on the back, or you might have to kick some guys in the butt. It all depends on how they respond to certain things.
Sure.
So, and a big part of this is our host families that we have here, because these guys live at their home, live with families here. So but they're with us so much, and we really take pride and take a lot of time in doing some culture building, and that's where Scott Musket comes in handy. We come together, we try to learn a lot about each other, and being a part of a team, you're on the road, you're on the bus so much, you're in hotels, so you're around each other so much that you become brothers really, really quick, and you learn a lot about people. And I have children of my own too now, and I've kind of been through the whole process. So,
Sure.
so it's not like I know everything,
Right.
But I've at least experienced it before, and kind of know what they're going through.
And
so
one of the things you talk about Mudbugs culture is how to win.
Right.
Let me wrap up with Jason Soupy Campbell, new Mudbugs coach. And I don't know if you noticed this. It was toward the end of last season. And you know what an awesome kid Dominic Procopio was. He was the Mudbugs captain last year.
Sure.
And at one of the fan meet and greets with the Mudbugs players, This kid got up, and I know at this point you've heard, because it was on Facebook, it went viral on Facebook, his end of the season speech, which was astonishing. I'm thinking, this kid is 21 or 22 years old, and he's giving a speech like a 50-year-old. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He said something a couple of years ago that was as moving and as summarizing about Mudbugs hockey as you'll ever hear. And he said to a group of fans, he said, you know, I don't know if I'm ever going to play in the National Hockey League. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But thanks to you, for one season, I know what it feels like to be treated like a major league player.
Yeah.
Damn.
Very
and
cool.
that's the kind of kid you guys turn out.
Yep.
And will continue to do so.
Yeah, and you know, that's a testament to our fan base too, you know. Like, it's junior hockey, but as an organization, we try to treat them as professional as possible. And you know, the way the fans treat these guys and come out and support them, you know. Muskie's always said too, from day one when he got here as a player, he said, you know, just the atmosphere made him feel like he was in the National Hockey League, and
Right.
and he loved it, you know, and I agree with that.
New Mudbugs coach Jason Soupy Campbell. First exhibition game August 31. The second one will be second game September 1st.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough.